Hi, Mary Baxter here. In this video, I'm going to talk about the fifth chakra, or the throat chakra. Now, the throat chakra is a subtle organ, the fifth chakra, and its energy focus is on free choice and free will, how we express ourselves in the world. Physically, we're looking at the throat. So it's the skin, the organs, the thyroid, parathyroid, trachea, esophagus, the neck vertebra, all the muscles and tissues in this part of our body. And emotionally and mentally, we're looking at, like I said, free choice and free will, how we express ourselves in the world. So how are we thinking about our position? Do we feel that we are in control in our lives, that we have the ability to express our own free choice, free will? Or do we feel that altogether or in particular aspects of our lives, we're being controlled by other circumstances, perhaps other people, or even substances? It's in the life process, when the fifth chakra, part of our lives, is reaching maturity, we're taking responsibility for our choices. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize about free choice, free will, is that this can be considered a law of the universe, something that all people have, and it is not a license to do harm. We're really obligated as human beings expressing our free choice, free will, to do this in the light, to enhance life. That is why we are here. We begin our lives in free choice, free will, in that before we incarnate, we decide that we want to incarnate, and we make choices about why we're coming into a lifetime, who our parents will be, who will be the significant others in our lives, and experiences that we line up to have. Now, this isn't just, like people will look at it like, oh, destiny or a life plan that somehow that takes away their free choice, free will, fate. Okay, here I am, and what's going to happen to me, or what is happening to me? And when you look at it as that you chose to be here, and that you are here for a reason, and that you participated in creating the whole scene, that eliminates a lot of those ideas of, that we have no say, no options, or no choice. That simply is not true. A weak fifth chakra is, first of all, illness and disease in this part of the body. It's also represented by a sense that there's no personal authority in choice making in our own lives. We might be controlled by others, by substances like money, power, alcohol, food. All of these kinds of things by another person can, loom so large that we've given over our choices to these other beings, these people, these substances. And so strengthening the fifth chakra is very important, and it's where subtle energy can help, because if you're, seriously addicted to a substance, how do you overcome that? Well, the throat chakra mediates between the heart and the mind. And in this way, working on it as a subtle energy can be very, very helpful. You may not be able to think yourself out of an addiction. That's a fifth chakra issue. And yet, there are many ways to work with this. A weak fifth chakra also can be, total doubt in your own spiritual guidance and direction. A strong fifth chakra is a strong, clear voice in the world, speaking with honesty and integrity. Like, I'm talking about all of these things, and I'm not talking about this honesty, this integrity, free choice, free will, being in charge of yourself because I've mastered this stuff. I'm talking about it because I study the chakras and I work with them. And so I'm working on all of these things too. If we understand free choice, free will in the light, and also take into account that there are consequences for everything that we do, the idea of using our choices and our free will in the light makes a lot more sense, because we probably don't want to be generating negative karma or negative consequences by doing harmful things in the world. And so this is also a way of noticing what your behavior is bringing you. What are you magnetizing through what you're doing? And if you like it, you're probably acting in coherence with your soul, with your spirit, with your guidance. And if you're very unhappy with what you're seeing, you're not. And these are things that you can change. Another really essential way of looking at the fifth chakra is the way that it shows what we have faith in. So, is our faith in our fears, our worries, or is our faith in our spiritual guidance? One is crazy making. Have faith in your fears will make you nuts. To have faith in your spiritual guidance, in the idea that you can discover your purpose and express it, makes you light, makes you happy, makes you a force of goodness in the world. I think that the fifth chakra is the first chakra that we're dealing with after the bridge of the heart from the physical into our spirit. And so the fifth chakra is really bringing us so much more in touch with our spiritual life. And it's something that begins to develop much more strongly in adulthood than it does when we're children. To look at how we can start to evolve in our fifth chakra, there's a number of things that we can look at and do. And, first of all, stop being so critical and judgmental of ourselves and also of other people. Like, why are we doing that? Why are we so critical and judgmental? Something to think about. When we have really strong expectations, like money can only come to me in this one way, but not through this job or that kind of work or those people, we're limiting our free choice, free will. And there's really no reason to do that, to be open. So to release an iron grip on how things have to happen in our lives. Also, things happen. And yes, there are reasons why, but we're not always going to know what those are, especially if they involve other people. They may not even know why they do what they do. So a gentleness there also in our expectation to understand everything, to know everything. We're in a spiritual level of being when we move into the energy of this chakra, and therefore physical proof is not going to be there for everything. It just doesn't exist. If we limit it to the physical, where there's so much that we will not be open to. We want to also open ourselves to the idea of trusting the surprises that come our way, whether we would consider a surprise like, say we suddenly lose our job. Seems like a bad thing. But how about being open to the idea that, oh, this is happening because there's something else for me to do, or there's something better for me to experience. The idea that when one door closes, another opens. is true. And so we can open to this idea. And we also want to have the trust in our spiritual guidance and the courage to make choices that are necessary when they are necessary. One of my biggest helpers in making choices with my free choice, free will, and in alignment with my spirit and my soul, my spirit guides, I use a pendulum to assist me in making decisions, because the pendulum is a tool that introduces my mind and my intuition to my heart and my experience. And it's a wonderful tool. We can ask ourselves more questions like, what does it mean to me to be strong-willed? What does that mean? It's a good thing to think about. Who in my life controls me? Why? Who am I trying to control? And why am I doing that? Do I express myself openly and honestly and with integrity? Can I accept spiritual guidance in my life and act in accordance with it? Or am I afraid of divine guidance? Like, why? But people are. Maybe it's going to cause you to step out of something that's comfortable for you because you're here to do more. Do I incorporate the will of spirit in my plans? Do I just add that in when I'm making plans? Like, I'll put out an intention personally that I'd like something to happen. And at the same time, now I've learned to say, and this, I would love for this to happen, but if there's something better, I'm open to it. If there's something different, I'm open to it. Where do I lose control in my power of choice? And am I taking the actions that are essential for me right now? And you can ask these questions all the time because we're always evolving, we're always growing. When we're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, as long as we live, we're evolving and growing here. Now, that's taking care of like a mental way of dealing with the fifth chakra. Because it's a subtle organ, like all the chakras, our energy system, who we are, we're also able to use subtle energies to help us heal, to help us bring balance. And so in the throat chakra, this is where the blue ray enters the body. The blue ray nourishes the entire mind, the brain, and it begins in the throat chakra. Blue sapphire is the gemstone that carries the blue ray. So if we are really wanting to work on the throat chakra, we can wear the blue ray. These are blue sapphires. I made this necklace a while back as I continue to work on the project of my dissertation. And so this is something that nourishes my mind, the blue ray, and helps to bring my expression, free choice, free will. All of these kinds of things are enhanced through wearing the blue sapphire and the blue ray. So I love the stone. Also, there are the quartz crystal rings. And I've talked about these throughout the chakra videos and will continue to do so. By placing this on the throat chakra, I am bringing in life force energy, and balancing all the color rays. So balancing blue ray at the throat chakra. And so, this is a great way to work with this energy, especially if we're really worried about some of the more complicated ways of dealing with free choice and free will. I invite you to share this video with everyone you think is interested and to visit my website, which is marysclearings.com. All kinds of videos are available there, teaching about all of the chakras, teaching about soul reading, the Akashic Records, and offering all of the services that I have. So until next time, thank you.